What's going on, Vanilla Sports? Back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the July 1st that the Toronto Maple Leafs had, as it was a very eventful day for them, as they had a total of 4 signings, and I think that they're all really good ones. I really like what they were able to do, who they were able to bring in with really what they had. I'm really happy with it. So we're going to go over the signings. Of course, the 6-year deal to Chris Tanev, the 4-year deal to Oliver Ekman-Larsson, as well as the 2-year deal to Anthony Stolarz, and the 2-year deal to Jani Hakanpaa. We'll start off with Chris Tanev, who the Leafs did, of course, trade for. It was pretty much a sign and trade, or a trade and sign, actually. They just traded for him just to get his rights. And I think it was a smart move for Toronto to kind of allow themselves to talk to him before he could talk to everyone else. As that paid off, because he signed before noon on Monday. So looking at Tanev, the 34-year-old, it's a 6-year deal in Toronto with an annual average of $4.5 million. And I think for him, that's great value. Under $5 million for a defenseman that good is fantastic. He played a lot of games last year, considering how old he is and the way he plays. He's played in 800 career NHL games. He's from Toronto. It's just a great deal. He played in 56 games for the Calgary Flames last year, before at the deadline they flipped him over to Dallas. And with the Stars, he went on to play 19 games in the regular season and 19 games in the playoffs. So he is a hard, he's a big guy, 6'2", 195 pounds. He's played 60 playoff games. He plays physical. He hits hard. He's just what the Leafs have needed. That defensive defenseman, the right shot defensive defenseman that the Leafs needed to play with Morgan Rielly, and that the Leafs needed to just be good and solid back there. He's been a guy the Leafs have been targeting for a long time. Of course, he was under Brad Treliving for a while in Calgary. Brad Treliving signed him to deals. They tried to get him at the deadline, but Calgary wouldn't trade with Toronto. But Chris Tanev has been a guy that the Leafs have been looking at for years, been targeting for years. He's been a guy that us fans have wanted for years, and a guy that we've needed. He's going to be a great fit for us. Of course, that right shot defenseman. The next signing they made was defending Stanley Cup champion defenseman Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He goes by OEL. They signed him to a 4-year deal with an annual average of $3.5 million. He's 32 years of age. He played in 80 games for the Panthers last year with 32 points. So he's a bit more of an offensive guy. He ran their second power play. But he's been really good over the course of his NHL career. He played 22 playoff games for them before winning the Cup. He's played 982 career games in the NHL with just under 500 points. He's been good at the international level as well. With Sweden, he's won gold medals at 2 IHF World Championships. Of course, got the silver at the Olympics, but he's just been a great guy in the NHL as well. He was a former first-round pick back with the Coyotes. Spent some good time with the Vancouver Canucks. And he hasn't really bounced around that much, considering he's been in the league for, 15 seasons. So he's been a really, really good guy for many teams. He's going to be good for the Leafs, that second guy to run the second power play, which I think is very important. He was a big piece to the Florida Panthers, and I think he would fit in really well next to Jake McCabe, personally. And I think at $3.5 million, it's just great value, really, for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. And I think he's a good piece to the defensive core for the Leafs. So you see what Treliving's doing. He's gaining defensemen, so he's trying to get guys to help out the defensive corps, and I think that's going to really, really pay off, and it's really, really going to help. I love these signings that he's making. I love that he's improving the defense. I think it's going to help us, and it's going to kind of put us slowly put us over the top. So I think these are big, important signings. We need to improve the D, and that's what he's done. Our D looks a lot stronger, and Ekman-Larsson also plays a little bit physical. So we're getting bigger, we're getting more physical, we're getting more puck-moving guys, we're getting more offensive guys, we're getting a mix of everything on the back end, but most importantly, we're getting big guys who play with the body. They hit, and they're just good, experienced guys that they're winners and they know how to win. So I love the signing of OEL. The last signing I wanted to talk about was, of course, Anthony Stolarz. He's also a defending champion, former Florida Panther. He's 30 years of age. Of course, he was the Panthers' backup goaltender this year when they won the Cup, and he's signing a 2-year deal with the Toronto Maple Leafs for an average of $2.5 million per season. So 2-year, $5 million deal. At 30 years old, he was fantastic last year with a 16-7-2 record, with a 2.03 goals against average, a .925 save percentage, and 2 shutouts over the course of 27 games. He played 108 career NHL games, and he's 43-31-9 with a sub 2.7 goals against average. Stolarz will be a great backup goalie for the Leafs, and I love the idea of this Stolarz and Wall tandem. So I think it makes a lot of sense. Stolarz isn't too old, but he's a proven goalie in this league, a really, really good backup, one of the better backups last year and the past couple of years. So I love the idea of this Wall and Stolarz tandem. I think they can be really, really solid. It's an affordable price for the two of them, and I think they're going to be real, real good next to each other. I love the Stolarz signing, and I, of course, like the Wall extension that I'll get into in another video as well. But I really like Stolarz, and I think him and Wall can be a cup-winning goaltending duo and goaltending tandem. The last signing I wanted to go over and talk about is the Jani Hakanpaa signing that the Toronto Maple Leafs made, and this is one that's weird because I've been waiting for this one to become official to make the video, but I'm not going to wait any longer. The Leafs still haven't made this official, which is weird. But the reports are that they've signed Jani Hakanpaa to a 2-year deal worth $1.5 per season. The former Dallas Star, who's 32 years old, from Finland. But after the Leafs signed him, a lot of reports came out. Now, this is from the Toronto Sun and Steve Simmons, so take this for what you will. I don't like Steve Simmons at all. Take this for what you will. But according to the Toronto Sun, Jani Hakanpaa may never play a game in the NHL again due to a knee injury. So if that's the case, I just don't know why the Leafs would sign him. I can't see that being the case. Of course, he's been a big piece to the Stars for a while. He's a big boy, 6'7", 230 pounds. He's just that big physical guy. Him and Benoit together would be a massive, defensive duo or defensive pairing. Last year with the Stars, he played in 64 games before missing the rest of the year in the playoffs with an injury. But the year before that, he played in 82 games, 15 playoff games, 80 games the year before that, including 7 playoff games. And then he just played in the 2020-2021 season with the Hurricanes for 15 games and then 11 games in the playoffs. Before that, starting his NHL career off with the Anaheim Ducks. So I'm not sure really what to take from this. I'm not going to take Steve Simmons' word for his injury, but obviously as a Leaf fan now, you got to be cautious about this. If they did sign him to that 2-year deal worth $3 million, it doesn't make sense at all. But if he is healthy, I love this deal for the Leafs. I think Hakanpaa's a great defenseman. He's been great for the Stars for years, and he's a guy who's big. Him and Benoit can be a pairing. Him and McCabe can be a pairing. Even him and OEL can be a pairing. So I think it's a great signing if he's healthy. And, we just don't know if he's actually been signed. And we'll hope to figure that out in the coming days. But, guys, that's all I got in this video. You guys let me know down in the comment section your thoughts on these 4 Leaf signings. Chris Tanev, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Anthony Stolarz, and, of course, Jani Hakanpaa. You guys let me know all that good stuff down below in the comment section. Your thoughts on these signings. I like them all, but you guys let me know. And as always, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We'll see you guys all in the next video. And as always, go Leafs, go.